Well, hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about maths. Come back, come back. It's not that scary. Now, a lot of people think you have to be really good at maths to program a computer. It's not actually true. If you want to do computer science, yes, computer science these days is a branch of applied mathematics. But for our purposes, it's just a question of letting the computer do the maths. You just tell it what you want it to compute. It's not really that hard. Now, if you remember somewhere in high school, you learned the rules of precedence, right? So 2 plus 3 times 2. In that string, the multiplication, and we use a little shift 8 asterisk for that, not an X, right? Comes first because it comes before the actual addition. You remember those rules. But if you get confused, right? So the answer here is 6 plus 2 is 8. Right? Not from left to right. There's a rule that says this comes first. And that's just the normal sort of rule that you always follow in mathematics. But there's a little trick. If your calculation gets a lot longer than that, then of course you just put it in brackets, because whatever is in brackets comes before anything else. So if this is not what we want, then you just do it like that. Right? So brackets come before anything else. And so by putting the right bit of your equation in brackets, now you can say, oh, but that's just elementary mathematics. Yeah, but that's all it takes. Okay, where were we? So that's your basic maths, really just arithmetic. But of course, if you're writing something like a screensaver or a graphing application, you want to look at these other ones. These are your trigonometry commands, which, if you are familiar with that, I've tried very hard to forget my high school trigonometry. But if you're familiar with that, you'll know what it means and how to use them. Got a few little shortcuts here. Pi. Okay. No need to write 22 divided by 7. It's just pi. Right, what else have we got here? Right, where is it? Here. This is one you'll use fairly often. Int. That gives you the integer part. Now keep in mind that doesn't give you the nearest integer. It gives you the integer below. So if you have 12.4, then int 12.4 gives you 12. If you get 12.9, then int of that will give you 12. So how do you do a proper rounding off? Okay, there's a little trick. You add 0.5. right? So if you've got 12.6, you add 0.5, and then you take the integer part of that, right? Which will then give you 13. But, it's very rare that you'll need to do that, but that's the trick to do it. Okay, so that is really how you do the math, or rather how you instruct a computer to do the math in YAB. Now, always make the computer do the actual work. Right, so remember I said before that you don't want to open a window that's taller or wider than your screen. Now, how do you do that? You could take all known screen dimensions and test them one by one. If the screen is this big, then make the window that big. If the screen is that big, then make the window this size. Or you can just say, what is the window width? Okay, make my window 2/3 of that. See? Now you're making one or two lines of code rather than several hundred lines of code, because now you're making the computer do the work. Okay, so that was, again, a slightly offbeat episode, but these things do need to be discussed. Thanks for watching.